is Jill Babila. I am a LAM patient. I was diagnosed in April 2004. My only symptoms was shortness of breath and some blood in my sputum at times. I basically work in a hospital and had seen one of the pulmonary physicians in the hallway. Mentioned to him I'm having some episodes of shortness of breath with activity, and he said, "Oh, come in, we'll check you over. You're too young to be short of breath. You probably have some asthma." I did make an appointment, went in and seen him, did a pulmonary function test for him, and a few other chest x-ray, a few other tests. The pulmonary function test, he told me, was not consistent with an asthmatic patient, that there was other testing that would have to be done to find out what was going on. At that time, he sent me for a CT scan. I had a CT in the ER that later afternoon. At that time, the physician that was working came to me with a stack of papers, basically handed them to me and said, "This is what you have. I know nothing about it. I have copied it off the internet. So it's Friday evening, go ahead, go home, and see your pulmonary first thing Monday morning." So that's kind of what I was left with. Went into his office. We kind of discussed what should I do, what's our next step. Obviously, further testing. He ended up sending me for a second opinion to the University in Michigan, Ann Arbor, and for a second opinion there, they concluded with him that that is what they were thinking. It was LAM's disease. They did I had a bronchoscopy done, and that confirmed it. After doing some more testing for them, which was a 6-minute walk and some things, they decided that I was moderate to severe in the disease process and needed to be on oxygen with activity now. I was currently employed, working in the hospital. Wasn't sure about working with oxygen. I didn't know if I wanted to do that every day and be asked about it and relive that I have this disease. So I was probably still in denial myself. I did, however, go ahead and start wearing it at work. One of the comments made by the physicians is if I don't wear it, then I'm non-compliant. And if I was going to be transplanted in the future, wearing my oxygen would obviously allow me to be transplanted, but if I didn't, I would be a non-compliant patient. And he stated they don't treat or transplant non-compliant patients. So with that, I started wearing oxygen at work. It was difficult just to have to face and answer every day to everybody what's wrong with you. But it did get easier into this day. I still work with the oxygen. I wear a backpack. I work in the recovery room, and I work full-time. It's a challenge, but it's definitely doable. I have very good coworkers, and everything goes most days fairly well without problems. I can't tell if I overdo it, just, headaches, that kind of stuff, but for the most part, I can still live a pretty normal life with the oxygen. So I'm a single parent, so on top of work, I do still maintain, full household with laundry and such, although it is difficult to carry laundry or groceries in and out of the house. Those chores are obviously a little bit more demanding. You have to really plan out your day. You have to take into consideration what you can do and handle. Obviously, if you overdo it, you pay for it. So you quickly learn that you want to manage your time and manage it wisely. Also, getting lots of rest is very important. And that can also be a challenge when you're trying to maintain everyday things. Eating healthy, I'm just trying to do the best I can of carrying on with this. I did find the LAMposium to be very beneficial. I also went out to the National Institute of Health for evaluation and have been there a handful of times. Both those places are full of information, and it's great at the LAMposium to be able to meet other LAM patients, family members, to discuss with them how things are going with them and how they're dealing with it, for my family to talk with theirs, and for me to talk with other LAM patients and the physicians and the scientists to hear what they have to say. I walk away with just a lot of information that I can take in and take back to my physician and share with him. So it's a very rewarding experience. I do have 2 children, and like I said, they've been very helpful, very supportive family, so that's a benefit for me. What else would you like me to?
Oh my gosh, that was extremely articulate. Wow, I'm very impressed. The awareness, how to transplant, they told you,
Okay.
you know, I mean, that the doctors really needed, they need to know more about this, because that's just a horrible, imagine you've been told that you had a transplant. No, you don't. No, you do. You don't. So.
Yeah, when I was diagnosed in 2004, my physician basically told me the information that he was able to retrieve. The only form of treatment for this would be a double lung transplant. He thought, we need to do this now while you're young, you're healthy, you can fight back. And in the midst of going and getting evaluated for transplant, I go through other doctor's appointments, and I have another physician, a cardiac thoracic surgeon, basically tell me, no, I'm not going to complete the cardiac cath that is required for this part of getting on the list, so to speak, because he didn't feel I was ready for transplant. So I had a lot of frustration, because I felt like one physician was telling me one thing, another physician telling me another, and I didn't even know which way or what direction to go in. So it was very frustrating, and I wonder, well, where is that time or that line I don't want to cross? When is it going to be the right time? And so that was very frustrating for me. And I think now it's been obviously going on my 9th year. I did not have transplant yet, as I still wear the oxygen. I've had a slow progression, which is fortunate for myself. Everybody is very different when it comes to this LAM disease, how you progress, whether it's rapid or slow. And again, mine, fortunately, I have been slow, so no, I didn't need the hard cath. But I didn't know that at the time. I was thinking this was my only option. But I took it upon myself to start retrieving information myself and learning about this disease. And in so, I was put in touch with the LAM Foundation, found out about the LAMposium, gathered as much information as I could about that and about the National Institute of Health. And that's where I got the information to pass on to my physician. And working in the medical field, I was approached many times by different physicians and coworkers and residents. Why are you wearing the oxygen? You don't look like you need it. What's wrong with you? You look so healthy. And I would tell them I have a rare lung disease. I would give them the name, lymphangioliomyomatosis, LAM's disease. They would look at me like never heard of it. So I felt I needed to spread the word, because there is such a need out there that we need to let everybody know that these symptoms are misdiagnosed into asthma or chronic bronchitis, other diseases or other illnesses, and LAM is able to be found with a CT scan usually. So it's important that they take that next step. My chest x-ray was normal, so my physician thought, okay, let's go to the next step. Many physicians don't take that next step. They just say, you have an abnormal pulmonary function test, let's start you on some asthma treatment, like some inhalers and such. And continue to treat with that, which does not help and does not usually show any difference or improvement in the patients, the way they feel. So in backing up, I did take information from the LAM Foundation, brochures that they had made, and I kind of put a little note with it saying, this is who I am, and this is the symptoms that I had, and it's very simple to be overlooked. So I just wanted to spread the word and let you be more aware, and passed it to every physician that I worked with to try and get that word out there. And I still do that to this day. If I'm out in the public and I'm stopped and asked, why are you wearing that? I feel that opportunity to just share with them. I have a rare lung disease. And I will tell them as much as they want to know and refer them to the LAM Foundation. New LAM patients that I talk to, I refer them to the National Institute of Health for further treatment or evaluation. I encourage them to attend the LAMposium so that they can get more information, bring it back to their physicians. It's just very important. We need to get that word out there so that we can be looking for this and helping in finding ultimately a cure for Lamb's disease.
That was very good. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That was